Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing Hachsek's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 158. Another one-day chapter called Guf, the body, and quite sobering words of the Pele Yoetz. Hine aguf legabe hanefesh, when you examine the body compared to the soul, ka'ayin nechshav, it's like nothing. Ume'evel yimat, it's less than worthless. It's worthless completely. The body, compared to the nefesh, to the neshama that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us, the nefesh, the neshama is everything. The body is nothing. V'roi l'chol bardas, l'sagev es gufay. Anyone that has a bardas, anyone that has wisdom, seichel, a mind, understanding, they should be willing to afflict their body. U'latrichai b'chol mini tirchais, and they should be willing to work it hard, in order to purify their nefesh, their soul. And in that way they will give nachas ruach, pleasure to Hashem. Don't worry about your body at all. When it comes to the honor and the glory of Shemaim, if you have to sleep a little bit less, you have to work a little bit harder, and you have to be a little bit more achy and more pain, don't worry about if it's going to help to bring more kvod, more honor to Shemayim. There's one thing you do for your body. Make sure that it is healthy and strong. So that you can do the true service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu like an Eved, like a servant of Hashem. Your body has to be, you have one body, you have one soul. The soul finds itself stuck and trapped inside of your body. Don't give in to the whims of your body. And if the body gets beaten down a little bit, that's good, says the Pele Yoetz, because that means it'll bring out the more purity that's inside of your nefesh, of your soul. But at least take good care of your body. You need to make sure that you're healthy. You need to make sure that you're strong. Take your vitamins, get enough sleep, eat healthy foods. Don't eat all of the rubbish that everybody's eating these days in America now. They're cutting out all of these food colorings and sugars and all the different things. It's good for Klal Yisrael. It's good for the Jews. Why? Because it allows us to be healthy. And that means that when you go to the store and you want to buy all your favorite snacks, maybe they won't be on the shelf anymore. So we won't feed our kids all of this junk, all this sugar, all these chemicals and everything, because we're getting healthy. Because that's the only thing we should do for our body. Make sure that it's healthy and it's running good and we're in shape and we're getting what we need in order that we should be able to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the right way. The healthier you are, the more energy that you have, the more you can be mishabed, you can subjugate yourself to the Ratzon of Hashem. We see people are willing to endure many yisurim, physical suffering, for his money and his body, because let's say that a person is, and again, it's a little unclear, but it sounds like from what he's going to say later on, if a person is going to have to give up their money, a person's going to have to go through some suffering in this world, but the result is going to be they're going to live. The guy is being held up at gunpoint, has to give away all of his money to live. He'd rather give up his money. A person's going to be beaten, but he'd rather take the beating to get killed. So a person's willing to endure that and suffer through that. Because he doesn't, and he doesn't want. He doesn't also want that he's going to end up. He'd rather get the pain and the beating in the body and not let his nefesh, his soul, leave him. If a person's so concerned about the soul leaving the body, no matter what, no matter how long you live, at the end of the day, after 120, everyone's going down to the grave. But yet you're satisfied that you took the beating, you took the pain, you took the suffering. Why? Because you're still alive here in this world. All the more so. You must think about the suffering and the punishment that the soul's going to have in the world to come. Shumar ma'od mimavez is much more bitter than death itself. You don't have to worry so much about the separation of the soul from the body. If you know that your soul is going to go into the next world and it's going to be walking before HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the land of the living, so then why are you worrying so much if the neshama leaves the body here in this world? You do have to watch over the connection that the body and the soul have to each other. That connection should be used only for the sake of elevating the soul, elevating the neshama, keeping the body down under control where it's supposed to be. And in that way, you will rescue yourself and save yourself from the Gehennims and the fires that are going on down there. A person should be willing to give over his money and his body. Just like a person would be willing to give up all of his money and take a beating to his soul, take a beating to his body not to get killed, so too, when it comes to the nefesh, when it comes to the soul that's inside the body, be willing to endure the suffrage of the body, of the physical world, in order that your neshama can depart from everything that it finds pleasureful in the body itself and be able to commune with Hashem in the next world. However, Hashem who has given a person understanding, to love HaKadosh Baruch Hu in truth, which is so good for the neshama. You reach this place called neshama to neshama, soul to soul, like the apparently from the Mekubalim, Kabbalists, it's like the highest level where the neshama can be. So then your neshama should be ready to be Meiser Nefesh, sacrifice itself for the sake of making a Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying Hashem's name. How does it do that? A person would think to themselves, I'm going to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What's my reward going to be? I'm going to inherit Gehenim, the world down there. The person who ends up doing Averos, he's going to get Gan Eden in the world to come. Mashu built the Efshar, that's something impossible. The person who does mitzvahs, he's going to get the world to come. The person who does Averos, he's going to get Gehenim. But imagine in your mind, it's switched, it's reversed. I would be willing to inherit Gehenim. They go all the way down to that world down there. My neshama should get burned up to smithereens. And turn into dust. To do the will of Hashem and bring him nachas ruach, to bring him pleasure. Meaning, if I get to a place so lofty in my neshama, so lofty in my avodas Hashem, that my mesiras nefesh is that I would be willing to have myself go down to Gehenim down there and be burned up to smithereens. If that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, that means I'm not looking for the reward, I'm not looking for the world to come, I'm just looking to make HaKadosh Baruch Hu happy. A person can train himself to think in such a way. This is our obligation. This is what's really very good for us. It gives us a whole new look on the world of Avodas Hashem. It's all about nachas ruach, and I need mesiras nefesh. What's my mesiras nefesh? What's my sacrifice? My spiritual sacrifice is, if doing all the right things is going to get me punished down there, well, that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. That's what I'm willing to do. Who is the man one and the wise one who understands this? Because we have to do whatever is within our ability to do. As much as our mind can grasp and reach. Do not have any pity on your body. Just I want to give nachas ruach to Hashem. Hashem Elokim Yazar Lanu Amen. Hashem should help us along. Amen. So very sobering words over here in the Pele Yoetz. Basically, don't get too attached to your body. It's just a kli, just a vessel to bring you closer to the Ribbono Shel Olam, and we can't indulge and we can't get comfortable with it. Rather, we should be willing to put all of our koiches into our ruchnius, even if it means that the body's going to suffer a bit, and so on and so forth, all for the sake of Hashem. That's what it's all about. Amitzvah Hashem, we should be zeicher to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'simcha, like we said yesterday, b'ra'ada, with the trembling, the yirah shamayim in front of us, and in that way, we will be the true Avdei Hashem, the servants of the Ribbono Shel Olam. All the best.